and August 1st, well over 100 citizens of Rockford, Illinois had their human rights violated by the Rockford Police Department. In the month that has followed, not 2 months that have followed, not a single sliver of justice or peace has been delivered to those victims. Since the city is oblivious to what justice looks like, here is a 7-point stance to begin remedying the evils done by the Rockford Police Department on May 30th and August 1st. Outside Precinct 1 and right down there. Number 1, we demand all charges in connection to the protest on May 30th and August 1st be dropped immediately without contingency on any agreement or deal being signed by the wrongfully accused parties. We demand the City of Rockford procures an entity outside the Rockford Police Department to investigate the actions taken by officers on May 30th and August 1st due to the conflict of interest.
There you go.
Number 3, we demand the inherent biased findings of the Rockford Police Department's investigation of themselves and the findings of the investigation done by an outside source be released in full without redactions to the public. We demand to be informed of the badge numbers and names of each officer at Precinct 1 on May 30th and out here at the jail yesterday. Informed of each officer who made an arrest and be informed of each officer who discharged their taser. We demand all elected officials in the City of Rockford condemn the actions taken by the Rockford Police Department on May 30th and August 1st, and also condemn the lack of results the investigation into the conduct of RPD on May 30th has yielded. We demand the City of Rockford make accommodations and pay in full for the services of counselors, therapists, and psychiatrists, or anything else needed to help the mental health of those traumatized by the actions of their officers. The city should make accommodations for each up to 12 months to pay these services for each individual. Number 7, we demand that all officers that participated in the violation of human rights of the protesters on May 30th and August 1st be terminated immediately and their crimes against humanity be punished to the fullest extent of the law. On May 30th, 2020, on May 30th of this year, I was brutalized and arrested by the Rockford Police Department. I have spent the last 2 months trying to get justice for the people who had their human rights violated by the Rockford Police Department. The city market protests grew out of this effort to get the message of what happened on May 30th out to the public at large. It started as 2 men going to City Market to peacefully and politely inform the public about the police brutality that occurred at District 1 on May 30th. We were met with off-duty police working as security, putting their hands on Leslie, and we got kicked out. We vowed to come back with more people. The next week, they gave us a map with a highlighted area that we could not protest in, an anti-free speech zone. We did not debate the constitutional right to free speech. We took the map as part of the rules of the game. So we went to the State Street side and started walking in the crosswalk, blocking cars with bikes. The Rockford Police Department responded by shutting down the street from Madison to Wyman. Every week we came out and walked in the crosswalk with more and more people and ventured further and further into the park that was not highlighted on their maps. Thursday of last week, they closed down the market in the face of the ongoing protests. Sorry. Friday, July 31st, we walked in the crosswalk just like we did on every Friday for over a month. At one point, Winnebago County Sheriff's deputies aided us by blocking the eastbound lanes with their cars. At about 7 o'clock, the Rockford Police Department massed 1 block down Water Street and advanced on us. We kept walking. They swarmed around me, saying that I was under arrest for mob action. I did not cooperate with this false arrest. They forced my arms behind my back and cuffed me tight. Once they had me cuffed, they walked me, drugged me, and carried me down to Market Street, where I ended up on the ground with them holding me down. When they wanted to get me into the van, Officer J.D. Burke twisted my hand back entirely too hard and kept that pressure on until they forced me into the back of the van. I will be filling out a formal complaint for excessive force on J.D. Burke soon. Once they got Leslie into the van, we were taken to the parking lot at the Justice Center. For over an hour, we were kept in the van in the parking lot. Then they brought us inside, and we waited another half hour as they unloaded the other protesters. When they finally got to us, they asked me to get out of the van. And I asked them, where is the justice for the people who had their human rights violated on May 30th by the Rockford Police Department, getting beat with sticks and shields, pepper sprayed, tear gassed, and stomped on while they were already handcuffed? And one of the officers got mad and slammed the doors shut and turned the van off and left us for another hour with no AC. It was very hot in the van. So we knocked on the side of the van with our cuffs until they asked what we wanted. We said that it was too hot. So they turned the van on and turned the AC on full blast and left us in there for another half hour. As we were brought in, we were singing, "Black is beautiful, free Leslie, set our warriors free, free Terry." We continued to sing as we were processed through the first holding room in the Justice Center. Then, before we were formally charged, fingerprinted, or had our picture taken, we were held in solitary confinement in the cold with no blanket for 6 hours. At one point, I woke up shivering and shaking. They brought me down to booking at 4:25 a.m. and let me sit in the chairs and watch TV. At 5:30, Leslie was brought down and put in the cell. I bonded myself out at 6 o'clock and Leslie got out around 7. They confiscated our phones, megaphones, as evidence of mob action by walking in a crosswalk.
All right, okay. I think it's important that people hear about the experience and understand that some of the people who still are inside of there, of course, when they come out, it'll be up to them to talk about what things they experienced and what their conditions was like. But if they don't, it's important for me and Terry to at least speak out on the things that we experience to give people an idea what some of these other people may experience. And also in doing these demonstrations, that's what all of this is. It's a demonstration. When you get arrested, when you're speaking out against abolishing prisons, and when you're speaking about against abolishing police forces, and you're trying to tell people about the wrongful things that people are experiencing, when you do a demonstration, you volunteer to go experience those things yourself. And that's that's what's going on when we go and we get arrested. What's up, man? When we go and we get arrested and we sit in those, yeah. When we sit in that paddy wagon like that, we do that and we demonstrate for the people who also sit in those paddy wagons. When we go and we sit in solitary confinement like that, we advocating and we demonstrating the same people who go and speak in sit in solitary confinement. And all of those people, they don't get to come out and speak about their experiences and have people wanting to hear, wanting to know what goes on. So since we have that, okay.
No, hold on.
All right, thank you. All right, so since we have that platform, it's important that we come out here, the ones of us that feel comfortable doing it, and speak out on what our experiences were like. All right, so give me 1 second here. I'm going to speak on something that I got written. I always feel a lot more comfortable giving a written statement. So give me 1 second. Okay. The first thing to be said today is free the political prisoners that the Winnebago County Sheriff's Office and the Rockford Police Department have inside of this symbol of oppression that they call a jail behind us. Go ahead. We can be strong on the outside only because of the strength we know that they have on the inside. The strength that they each have displayed in their demonstration, and the determination to highlight the racist, morally corrupt, and abusive workings of the law enforcement in Rockford and Winnebago County. The second thing to be said is that it is clear and present, as we have been saying for the past 2 months, that Rockford is a city intertwined with racism, and the city elected officials and civil servants have an unwillingness to address, destigmatize, and eradicate these issues. The people who have been on social media leaving hate-filled comments for the past 2 months gathered yesterday and had a 21st Century Klan rally. The state's attorney, mayor, chief deputy, and the chief and sheriff have all stood up there at those press conferences and denounced some of the things that they deemed as unpeaceful about our protest. And the white nationalist protest that took place yesterday exhibited many of those same characteristics, and yet they made no mention of that during their press conference. They made no mention of the man that was there for the Back to Blue protest, who assaulted a protester with us and stole their property, and even went as far as to record a live bragging about it. At that press conference, they made no mention of the Rockford police officer who repeatedly shoved someone to the ground multiple times for no just cause. At that press conference, they made no mention of the cameraman that was assaulted by officers for no reason other than being black in an area where black people are enemies. At their press conference, they made no mention of force being used before an order to disperse was given. At this press conference, they made no mention of officers putting knees in the necks and the backs of unarmed protesters. Some officers even going as far as to readying, unholstering their weapons while doing so. They made no mention of the white nationalist citizen who assaulted a protester while making another one of Chief O'Shea and the Winnebago County Sheriff's new citizens arrest, co-signed by the state's attorney. I wonder if black people have the right to make citizens arrest and assist in arrest of white citizens. I'll let you answer that for yourself. Now allow me to speak on a few of the things that they did make mention of. Chief O'Shea, who already had a rocky relationship with the black community in this city due to comments made at a prior press conference, made mention that after 2 months, black people and their allies have pushed the envelope on their First Amendment rights. Imagine that. A police department with a history of racism that goes back decades is saying that 2 months of demonstrations is pushing the envelope. Someone ought to direct him towards the lengths of the sit-ins and the Freedom Ride campaigns and the bus boycotts of the 60s. He also made mention of the importance of money and traffic to the city of Rockford. Unfortunately, as a black man in Rockford, I know very well that the economy and comfort of certain Rockfordians is placed above dealing with the issues of oppression and injustices of a minority group in the city, which is precisely why we protest there where we do on Fridays.
Yeah.
For too long, white dollars have been placed above black lives. For too long, white feelings have been placed above black lives. The state's attorney made mention of an order to disperse given on Friday that someone should pull her coat and made mention to her was never given and is recorded from multiple angles, and not one of them do you hear audio of an order to disperse. That's a lie to the citizens of this community, and it's disrespectful and an insult to our intelligence to think we wouldn't be able to find them videos and see that that was a lie. I encourage people to watch that press conference and ask yourself how you would feel watching a man, a civilian, in plain clothes hold your daughter's neck while assisting in these new citizens' arrests. After an undercover officer had already made an inappropriate contact with her physically, making her feel sexualized. All things... Go ahead. All things that unfortunately will be deemed to be within policy for this morally bankrupt police department, as evident by the findings of May 30th. All of these things, and things that we will still have to wait for other people to come out to speak on, all of these are the reasons that the demonstrations and the protest must continue.
Yeah.
If in the face of the first sign of adversity we surrender or compromise, not only does the oppressive white power structure gain its victory, but another generation will be forced to suffer for our lack of conviction. Another generation will have to pick up the pieces and finish this fight. On Tuesday, we will be at Food Truck Tuesdays at Nicholas Conservatory with new footage of the things that took place on Friday and of the things that took place on Saturday, and we will continue to speak out against this injustice that continues to persist in the city of Rockford, Illinois. We will continue to protest in front of the courthouse, advocating for the wrongfully accused people that were wrongfully accused before we spoke out on May 30th, but also for the ones who still stand wrongfully accused on May 30th, stand wrongfully accused for what happened on Friday, and stand wrongfully accused for what happened on Saturday. And for the ones that we all know will be wrongfully accused going forward, whether because of the demonstrations or because of being their skin color or their race or where they live at in the city of Rockford. We will continue to support others protesting and demonstrating, and we will continue to demonstrate at City Market on Fridays at 5 o'clock. We will continue to demonstrate there on Fridays. We will continue to be organized as we have been. We will continue to come to the protest as a protest. We do not control how the police come to the protest. We do not control how the agitators come to the protest. Those are all things that are ingredients to make it a peaceful protest. It is not only beholden to the protesters to make the protest peaceful.
That's right.
I also want to say, at 1:30, we believe the arraignment will be for the people that are still inside of there. People stood out there for me for I don't know how long. At 1:30, I will be here, if not before that, and I'm going to be here to every person that was either arrested on Friday or Saturday come out. If they take 48 hours to do extra booking for somebody or to put somebody through something, I'll be out here. If they do something to mess with their bail or mess with the case, I'm going to bring me a tent and I'm going to start living out here. Everybody who was arrested on Friday and Saturday needs to be out on Monday, or this is going to be the new place that I'm living at. I want people who maybe are just now paying attention or just now getting the chance to pay attention to not only just go back to May 30th, but go back to the history of the wrongdoings of the city of Rockford and the police department of Rockford. Look up the excessive force complaints. Look up the lawsuits against the city. Look up lawsuits against police department. Look up lawsuits against Metro. Look and see the amount of people who have constantly been speaking about this issue. This is not something that George Floyd happened in Minneapolis and all of a sudden black people in Rockford is upset. That's a false narrative that people continue to try to spew out. Just as much as Black Lives Matter, this is an issue about the black people in Rockford. So stop trying to use other things to construe the issue. That's what they do. They try to use the rocks on May 30th and the bricks on May 30th and the sticks on May 30th. Friday came, it was no rocks, it was no sticks, nothing was broken. They found new excuses to arrest people. They told you that we did something different on this Friday than we've done other Fridays. That's a lie. Everything that we did on Friday, we have done other Fridays. And let me say this to you too. For all the people who want to point to the law as to the reason that we should be doing these protests differently or we should be doing demonstrations differently, if those same people, okay, driving down that Martin Luther King Drive highway they got, I think it's the highway, the street, if they okay letting their kids sit out on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, if they okay having Black History Month, if they okay quoting John Lewis and saying rest in peace to John Lewis, then they okay with people breaking the law, because they broke the law. Them lunch counters that people sat at, it was illegal for them to sit there. They arrested them and put them in jail.
Yeah.
The buses that the people sat on and the place that they sat on them at, it was illegal for them to sit there. They put them in jail. When they did them marches, they beat the people and they arrested the people and put them in jail. The tools of the oppressor have been the same. The tools of the oppressor have been the same. I encourage you to spend this next week YouTube and looking up clips of Bull Connor. YouTubing and looking up what went on in Birmingham and in Selma, and look how those police officers and the mayors in the South during the 60s, look how they spoke. And then you watch those press conferences that Rockford has been putting out, and I promise you, you will see the similarities. It's a reason that somebody could put that picture up of that young woman and then put up a picture from 60 years ago and it resonate with black people. Black people don't give no damn about it being the law that we can't walk on the crosswalk in that manner. They care about it being the law that these officers breaking on a constant basis.
Yeah.
They want that law to be upheld the way you upholding crosswalk laws. Uphold the law about that police officer pushing people. Uphold that law about that police officer grabbing a photographer the way you uphold your crosswalk laws.
Yeah.
Listen to me. As long as it is a city market going on, we will be down there. If they cancel city market, as long as a market street and a store that say city market and a crosswalk in that area, we will be down there.
Stroll on state.
We will be down there. We will be down there organized. We will be down there prepared for the misdemeanors. Because let me tell you, all of that noise that they making, that press conference saying mob action over and over and over again, misdemeanor crimes, petty crimes, $100 to get my black ass out of jail. That's it. So we will spend this next week, like I told people, this is a war. This is a war. We don't need, they side has the guns, they side has the sticks and the chemical weapons, so it's no reason for people to try to make it seem like I'm initiating violence when I say war. We have not brought weapons to a single protest. You know the type of war I'm speaking on. You know the type of war I am speaking on. You see us in these battlefields daily. Daily. We will continue to wage war, and we will spend this next week setting up bail money. We will spend this next week making sure we have law teams. We will spend this next week gathering and speaking and being organized, and we will be walking on that crosswalk at City Market. And we will be prepared for whatever the consequences are. Because let me tell you something. I have a black son, and every day I got to get him ready for what the consequences of being black are.
That's right.
Yeah.
Every day. If you black, You was born in jail. So should it be no fear on Friday of being down there with us at City Market? Whether you 50, you 60, you 40, you 30. You spend this week, you watch what our ancestors did, what our forefathers did. You watch them sing as they get into the paddy wagons. You watch them sing as they put them in handcuffs. You watch them sing and you watch them hold the city that they was in on trial. We are holding Rockford on trial.
Yeah.
City Market on Friday. They took my phone as evidence. So if you've been texting me or calling me, I haven't been getting it. Apparently, they think they're going to find something in that phone that's going to lead them to something that ain't there. Everything that's in that phone, I say when I'm here with y'all.
Yeah, ain't no secret.
Everything that's in that phone, I say when I message or I speak to you in public. And I'm sorry to the people that I can't speak to more often and more regularly, but it's not no conspiracy. It ain't no kind of hidden agendas. What I'm advocating for is the same things that those people advocated for on May 30th. It's for the murders that's happened on the Rockford's watch of black people by the police department in Metro and Winnebago County Sheriff's Office to be looked into. It's for the goings on of what happens on the west side with policing to be looked into. It's for the white people get treated in that jail to be looked into. It's for the way you get treated for your skin color and your gender and your sexual orientation and what you identify to be looked into. You can see the way they treated them women in there. You can see the way that they treated them when they arrested them. You see it. I choose to let my name be out here and my face be out here, and I take whatever risks come with that. But I also get benefits from it. They made sure to be gentle with me like I was a white woman that day. They made sure. But I promise you, if I twitched, they would have beat me down like a dog. They spent holding me in there for 3 hours in the van and 7 hours in the jail before they told you what I was charged with, because they watched every video they could find and tried to find anything they could charge me with. But I ain't did nothing illegal or nothing wrong.
Let me know. Let me know.
They didn't Mirandize me. They didn't Mirandize none of us. Apparently that's just a small little byproduct of arresting somebody. They told me they was charging me with disorderly conduct. By the time I got out, it was obstructing a peace officer. That's because they had to go and find something else to get me with because the disorderly conduct didn't fit. We will continue to protest and have demonstrations. We will continue anytime that somebody goes in there that is protesting and demonstrating with us to be in solidarity and get them out and wait for them until they come out. Anything that is happening or that happens going forward that you are uncomfortable with, or is it too far for you, you pick your battlefield.
Yeah.
You want it, whether it's you filming, you taking pictures, you sharing online, you coming out protesting, demonstrating, you bringing food, you bringing water, you coming and sweating in the jail, you donating money, you find the battlefield and you help us, you wage this war with us. Now I want to say this too, and this for the black people in Rockford specifically. Now, May 30th, I got social media, and I got friends, and I got people out here too. On May 30th, y'all felt like it was a white people thing that went on. Y'all felt like it was backed by white people. And that's what kept y'all hesitant and kept y'all from coming out and coming forward like how y'all should have. It ain't just about black people, but this is a black issue.
Yeah.
I'm getting treated like this because I'm black and speaking out. Dana got arrested like that because she was black and she was out there. They grabbing the people up like that because they speaking out on black issues. They used to kill white folks for standing with them black people in the 60s. Now I ain't gonna never be the person to tell you because a white person next to a black person or they standing with a black person that make them black. But let me tell you something right now. The closest any white person or non-black person gonna get to being black is being out in front of District 1 yelling about how they treat people at fairgrounds. The closest you gonna get to being black is standing outside over there with us at a Back the Blue rally when they got Trump flags. It's a clip online of a white man getting tased, point blank, period, right to the face. And that the moment that pepper spray hit his face, the moment that burn set in, He knew what it was like that I was talking about being black. He knew he ain't do nothing wrong. He knew he was exercising his rights, and he know most likely ain't nobody gonna pay for that injustice. All right, I'm gonna get us up out of here if I get to sweating and passing out. Tuesday, City Market. What we do is we set up with the TV. We set up a little tent area. I also want to say this: the people at City Market Nicholas Conservatory have been kind enough to roll out the red carpet for us. I want to acknowledge that. I don't want people to think that I'm the angry black man all the time. They have been kind and courteous to us. Last time I spoke about how I was going to have the sirens out there. That's because the findings came out, and like I said, I'm transparent. I was upset about what happened. I got brand new footage to show on the TV now. I got new pictures to put on the board, and I have a whole new spiel to say. So we'll leave the sirens out of it. We had a TV, we had a poster boards, we'll be talking. I encourage everybody to come out. We'll have enough signs for people to pick up the signs, walk up and down, and you can just hold the signs of the things that they've been doing. All right? I don't know when we're gonna be back at the courthouse. We will have more megaphones as soon as possible. We'll have our signs, we'll have a speaker, we'll be back at that courthouse, and it'll be YG and NWA and Tupac and sirens every time you walk into that courthouse till they start doing right inside of there. All right? And like I said in closing, on Friday, we will be back at the City Market. We will be organized, we will be prepared, and if on Friday we at the City Market and we protesting and they gonna load them up in the vans, then on Saturday I need a new set of people to be down here waiting for them all to get out with their phones out, recording them on live. Thank you, thanks for coming out.
You want to mention for tomorrow?
Oh yeah, my fault, for everybody disperse. Okay. My fault. For everybody disperse real quick. Tomorrow, 1:30, the arraignment, court support, like I said before, we gonna be over here. It's here, right? This building right here? This building here? I believe it's at this building here. If not, me and other organizations and other people will be posting that online. We got a bunch of people that's paying attention now. Let's take advantage of that. When you see something, please share it for me. Again, look, I'm happy that I didn't take off for it that quick. If you got a Twitter, Instagram, whatever social media that you have, share these diligently. Share them diligently. Post diligently. Post them regularly. We can't let this go into the wind. We can't let this go. We need to make sure that these videos is getting as many views as possible, as many eyes as possible. We want people watching it in New York, in Florida, in California, in Australia, in Britain, wherever it's some black folks at, wherever it's some white people that understand what it's like to be black, whether it's some people who understand what it's like to be oppressed, wherever it's some people who know what it's like to be exploited and to be downtrodden. We want them to see the struggle that we waging over here. 1:30 at this building. We here till everybody come out. I'll bring a tent.
I don't want to get any conversations you don't want me to.
No, yeah, I might have to get. Oh wait, which one is yours?
That one.
Oh.
People already don't trust me.
No, yeah. I realized that.
Like, I didn't want anyone to come up to you and start talking about things I'm not supposed to hear, yeah?
Yo, what's up, bro? Yeah, you want to leave? My fault, bro. Shit been hectic. Moving. Get that pocket, son. Capitalize. Yeah, close it.